So, across the way, the shop, you can hear the shop doors close down below, and the very obvious sound of tables being kind of moved over hardwood floors. They take all the tables that are outside and pull them inside. And up the stairs, you guys see the Saul come up the steps and says, "Yes, master, what is it that you need?" She goes, oh, yes, Jolien, yeah, yes, come here. Look at this. And he kind of floats down around. She's like, she walks in and goes, that is very impressive. Would you like me to examine it, master? And he goes, yeah, examine, yes. Oh, we don't have much time. We don't have much time. Just basics. Here, this and this. And you see, as he's starting to pulse, he's starting to throw out the beginning portions of a whole bunch of different spells, and he's throwing them out very quickly, and she's sort of
pulling them in and finishing
them off very quickly. So she's obviously been
working with him for
quite a long time. She basically has as much of a sync with him as you do with Iris. And you see the thing kind of glow and light up on the table a little bit, and then Jolien kind of looks back and goes, yes, these and this here. This is very interesting stuff, yes. Master, where do you think they got this? Or do you mind if I ask?
Well, we got the crystal itself out of
Lord Amorality, go ahead and explain.
It opens with Iris.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember.
Hang on, what is always the answer in these sorts of situations?
Iris, take your shirt off.
Yes.
Iris, take off your shirt.
Actually, it would be, well, for the beginning part of
later
explanation,
Yeah.
Iris, take off your shirt.
She kind of gets a little awkward, looks around.
There's no, there's Jack.
Yeah.
Go ahead, we do.
Jack, turn your back.
Takes the shirt, puts it up over her head. And the soul kind of looks over to it, and Kiducan goes, "Whoa! This is a mark of the ascendants, yes. Yes. And tied to that, and he kind of floats over, you see the illusion stick out a finger and go, this here, yes."
That seems inappropriate.
I was going to say, Huey shifts so that her vines actually show her mark, because she keeps it hidden usually.
Right.
She'll shift so that her vines show her mark as well.
Notices you shifting. Kiducan not paying attention at all. But Jolien, the soul, actually does notice that she goes, "Master, the other one has a similar mark." And he kind of very quickly spins around and goes, "Similar? That's the same! More of these marks found around? What? This?"
She gestures to Jack.
Oh, this is interesting times.
Did a sprite just get a boner?
I think it did.
Our Gwarg also has it, and so does... Actually, yeah, Toy does, because it was burned into it.
You're gonna bring up one of the party.
Well, no, she's not going to call it a toy. She's like one of our other party members does as well.
Now to see, I must, yes, ascendants marks. I see them all. Oh, yes, that needs to happen. But this,
she lets the mark shift back in.
It's an aspect magic. Yes, this is very powerful stuff. This can bring life to where there was no life before. It's
really.
Yeah, Huey's just like really.
This spell, it has.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't do that.
Has purpose. No focus. There's nothing in it to direct the power, but there's a lot of power there. I've seen stuff like this before. I've made stuff like this before, but not of that caliber. Arcana check, please. It's a little bit difficult to switch voices when talking like Kiducan.
I assist.
That would be I believe a 31.
Okay.
Where's my character sheet?
I took it and put it there.
Good.
Because they need to look at skills.
Yes, that is a 31.
Okay, so you can tell
33.
that he has, not only around the shop, but around himself, he has several layers of wards as well. Which is very uncommon. Generally you don't ward yourself, or if you do, like, generally a sprite has no reason to ward itself because everything knows to not kill them, or they die.
And everything around them.
Right. They know not to kill a sprite because that will release unholy hell. So...
Kiducan, sure.
What I need from you is an insight, so...
Yeah, okay.
Assist.
Not that I can do much.
Yeah.
I don't know
Can you
what
assist
So,
on insight?
on
I guess
the-
if you're consulting.
No, just for the basic thing of it, you don't notice anything before you say something, but what do you want to say? Because that's not going to be enough to notice anything off the bat.
Okay.
And no one else has the... No one else noticed the first part of it.
I mean, I can get a +5 to it.
It's still not going to be enough to
right,
notice anything right off the bat.
Okay.
So go ahead and... What were you saying?
I was going to say, I notice that you've taken a
Unusual amount?
great aim to kind of protect and ward yourself.
There's all kinds of things that happen in the city. The times are nice now, but the game of the houses is a dangerous game, especially for people with, kind of looks around, with valuable things and no desire to be affiliated with any one of these little dirty houses. It's sometimes difficult to remain anonymous. Yes, anonymous. You should understand this with this dark feeling you have over you. He seems, again, goes from the bright colors down to the little muted blues and purples. Now as he's thinking about that.
No, I understand to a certain aspect.
We tend to simplify
Also,
things.
I'm trying not to take
We
any kind
distract
of
from the
offense
point.
as, you know, just disparaging my aura.
It was very
as
simple.
stated.
There's only one party remaining, and that party is ours.
And yet he's shielding his.
Yeah, but I do notice, I mean, between one sprite, and I shift to the sprite language.
Okay.
Between
All
one,
of a sudden they go quiet.
Right.
And it's just flashing colors.
Yeah.
from one sprite to another,
Oh god, they're like
I mean, your name is Magic Shop.
He goes, oh, there's... You see, kind of, he starts to speak in the common tongue, and then he switches over to the oscillating colors of the sprite language. Sprite language is very difficult to like see because it's just
Flashes
it's
light.
so many flashes so quickly, and people just aren't designed to read that.
Anybody epileptic?
But if you want to make a perception
back
check,
to find
both
out.
of you guys have been around him long enough to know enough that you might be able to basically figure out what's being
To
said.
read his side of the conversation. And
Or
then
at
interpret
least to
other
read
side.
the
Right.
emotion.
Right. Be able to figure out what's going on. In the
There's a
general.
lot of reds there.
They're talking about how one's a 10-second bomb and the other one's a 5-second bomb.
Right.
They're playing Sprite Chicken.
Is it like gay
20.
chicken?
20?
No.
Was that perception you said?
Perception.
Because
Yes.
in this one there's no winner.
31.
31? Okay.
I've
You can
spent
actually
far
get...
too much time observing him.
You get a fairly
Observing or
good
attempting
chunk
to
of
make
what's
it
being
burst
said.
into flame with
He
your
says,
sight?
there's reasons to remain anonymous for others. My... kind of looks around a little bit. My real name is Awkward. And you see him kind of like lower the wards very slightly, one of his personal wards. And then he says in the common tongue to Jolyon, please, let the ward lower. And he kind of motions back to, he floats back away from you, and then he switches back to the sprite tongue. And he says, my last name is Cloudham. And he kind of, you could feeling his aura. He obviously is telling the truth this time. His last name really is Cloudham.
Do I catch that last name or
yes. You'd get enough of what's being said. I would say that you. What was your total?
20.
20. Not quite enough to get it.
Okay.
Important things are
out
being
of-
spoken of.
Out of character.
Seems to run on
What
some
you
kind
know
of magic.
for Cloudham specifically is that there's each of the family names, rather than being an actual family because they don't have parents and what.
like guilds, almost?
Kind of like guilds. Basically, you associate with a certain way of thinking.
Yep.
And then you kind of
Schools.
kind of like a
like a
school. So you
philosophy.
go with that philosophy, and that's what you pick as your last name when you get to the age of majority. Basically, if you're now old enough that you can be trusted on your own without exploding, you choose your own last name. And the last name that he
think
chose
I know
when
they were
he
got
was
to that
old
part.
enough was Cloudhem. Cloudhem's mentality is that there are reasons that the sprite should interfere in the worst case scenario. The biggest example is Cloudhem, who basically went as far as possible in the world to kind of polarizing how people feel. It's generally accepted by the non-sprite races that Cloudhem is a hero. He was the one that led the arc spell that ended the first war, and he burned hundreds of years off of his life when he cast that spell. He's generally accepted to the sprite community to be the cautionary tale. Is you don't want to be another Cloud. So he's saying that the reason he uses the false name, the reason that he has the wards and whatnot, is to hide the fact that his name is actually Cloudhem. And then you see kind of the flash of color go back and says, "Hi, I don't mean to say anything to the others, but your aura, you've associated with something of my mentality before."
Okay. Maybe he can't see it.
Basically, you can tell that he can read on you that you've been around her long enough
Right.
that it's reflecting back
Yeah.
on you.
An unfortunate situation.
Yes, it's.
For those of you listening in the podcast, this will take way more explanation than I would like to get into right now, but I will put a note on the bottom of the podcast explaining what it actually means to cast a spell for a sprite. It's very different than casting a spell for any sort of caster, because the only way they do it is to burn away parts of their lifespan. It's considered the strongest taboo in their culture.
I have. Yes, there have been associations.
Are you still doing this in sprite time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's been associations.
Kiwi's just watching both of them fairly intently.
And Jollian while he's talking to you, he's still continuing to throw little bits of spell out to Jollian, who's continuing to cast on the shard.
I myself have a semblance of a similar belief that there are times that actions may be necessary, and with the person that I'm associated with, it wasn't necessarily by choice. It was more out of ignorance, which some would not even bear an explanation.
Ignorance of yours, or?
Oh, no. Ignorance of the other person. Or the person of the subject.
You guys are noticing that Kiducan's colors are getting very muted, and he's going through like darker shades of blue. He need happier thoughts. And he goes back to speaking in comics. So, Johnny has found something interesting. This has a bit of an aspect spell on it, and that's interesting. The aspects, they're not, well, common. The fact that you carry at least one with you is interesting.
Aspect or aspect spell? I know I'm not.
That's
here.
fine.
We know which aspect.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a clarification
Yeah,
on what
she's-
he's saying.
she's like-
By the way, again, I know you said you wanted to go do something away from the party, but it's...
No, I said I wanted to do something away from the party, and then I kind of wandered down here. I didn't really want to be involved with their little shop talk thing,
But
because...
he probably showed up at the tail end of the fight.
Yeah, I definitely showed up at the tail end of the fight with
So
them.
he was like, "What do you
The
mean
god
that
of
we
energy
carry
or
a
power,
part of the
whatever it is.
aspect? Are you talking
What's
about
this
this?"
Or not?
That was the name I couldn't remember.
Yeah. She's like, "Are you talking about the part of the aspect of this, or
No. He kind of floats down to your waist and kind of
where
looks
the
over.
big jar, where the big bag is hanging?"
And he goes, there's part of an aspect's essence in there. This is just made by one, or... And then you hear Jolly kind of say, made from one, you mean, Master? He goes, yes, made from one, not made by one. This is raw life.
Huey reaches down, opens the bag, and goes, opens the jar because she wants to actually try to
We
talk
can't.
it.
If we
We
open
can't-
the
we
jar,
can't do
he
that.
pops out.
Okay.
If you open the jar, he will come out.
Okay. So she won't do that.
Opens the drawer and destroys the room.
And fuck.
And now the
Maybe they
city
should
is
have pieced
playing.
down-
You see
jar.
Kiducan is kind of, as he floats away from your side, he kind of glows over towards
Glows
Jolien. And you see Jolien or you hear Jolien make a set of whistles. You can tell that it's very rhythmic, but it's not any language that you're familiar with. Basically, it's
Not.
Code.
it's some sort of shorthand or some sort of code that the two of them, as they work together for long periods of time, would be able to develop. And he goes, yes, it's possible. You see him kind of go through like a bunch of shades of pink and like
She
light
looks-
red as he kind of floats around. You can recognize it as uncertainty.
She looks at it. She's like, well, we did get it from the Temple of Revelet. Yeah, she points to
pointing
the.
to the.
She points to
The
the
wait.
spell that's inside of it.
Didn't we get the Nebian crystal way before that?
Yeah,
But
no,
it's
she's
Crystal-
talking about the
the
spell.
The
But the
crystal
spell itself, right?
is
She's
the
like
same
this.
spell that almost killed Iris.
Yeah.
Was from the
It's the
hospital.
life water.
From the
So-
from the bowl.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's
something
like the
kicked
life
over.
jello.
It was
Yes,
some
yes,
type
yes,
of
it's-
life water.
It's the part of the aspect that binds it to the energy. That's the thing in there. That's Revelet. Yes, we're temple of. That makes so much sense. Yes. That's yeah. As you know, and he kind of like goes over and looks at. Actually, does she still have her shirt up?
No.
I assume not.
Huey would have had her pull
Yeah,
it.
she's
Well,
He's
standing there.
actually,
She just been
unless
standing there like
someone
this
has actively told her to
Huey
put her
would've
shirt
the
down.
entire time.
Okay.
So do you still have the symbol on your
No.
chest?
She would have turned it back inward because she doesn't run around with
Are
it.
you trying to look? Does he seem like he's trying to look for the symbol?
Oh,
'Cause
I
I
was
was-
gonna say he would float towards someone with a symbol, but if not, he'll make an illusion of it. It's not
Right.
difficult. I was
Okay.
just gonna have it go to someone else if it was visible. So he makes a very quick illusion. He goes, see, every piece, people don't understand. These fit together quite literally like pieces in a puzzle. So you have this piece here, and you see him kind of like motion over towards the symbol for Albion.
Mhm.
He goes, and this piece here, and he kind of motions over towards the symbol for Naosis. They combine together to make this piece. And he makes the little symbol of Revelet. And he goes, but, in order to combine things, you need energy. Lots of energy. When you make something this strong, you need things from the middle. And he kind of makes the little centerpiece glow very strong. This is a piece from the middle. This is life force from an aspect. Pure and distilled. This can be very powerful to heal and to create.
Step 1 on reviving.
Yeah, I was
Heroes
gonna say-
Plan A.
Huey is like, yeah.
We have use for it.
Huddle up, team.
This is Suko's.
Let me ask you.
Swear to God, if I find out that you left
Kiducan.
Sukos' chunk
Have you-
next to that thing, she's gonna be pissed.
Would you be
She already doesn't like
interested in a collaborative effort?
That depends on what the effort is. Julian is very smart, very active. He's floating back and forth again. He's flashing towards between being the bright yellow of excited and the kind of orangish pink of being really uncertain.
Well,
She has thoughts and plans and good thoughts and plans. She's very smart.
The effort would be making use of this for a specific.
Is this
I
one
have
for
a
2
use.
days without a sprite
I
being
have
crazy?
use.
Apparently.
There's
I have not made a single
a
step.
tool, a weapon. That's incomplete. Didn't have quite enough power, quite enough life in it to be effective. It was made some time ago, and I think this could be what we could use to fix it. And it would be good use. I don't think it would expend it. No.
What tool are you speaking of?
You see him get very. Again, he goes back to being. He's constantly flashing between colors.
Right.
And you see he goes solid blue. And kind of sits back a little bit and goes, oh, no. That's.
It just goes back in the bag.
No.
we didn't have to share this information with you. And we've been honest up to this point, including talking about, I assume, a friend of ours, what has done things that some sprites feel ain't appropriate. So now, if this is going to stay here long enough for you to look at it more, you need to be honest with us. Otherwise we're leaving.
When you say a friend of ours, you see Jolion's kind of illusion image look over towards you. Friend, that's a new word for this conversation, but...
You weren't there? I'm simplifying.
I was brought in to help. Make a weapon. Make a weapon to slay something. Slay the other half of that. She moves.
Bogar.
Yes. Yes. I didn't understand. I didn't understand what it really was.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's exactly what we need.
To slay it.
I didn't understand
We
what
need
it
to
was.
beat it
I
down
thought it
so
was a
that
beast.
We can just,
I
jump on it.
I had not felt the aura. I had not seen that it was an aspect. You have to understand. I did not willingly create a weapon or help in creating a weapon that would harm an aspect. No, it was.
Oh,
We can make it
glad
work.
because I'm hoping she'll
Um,
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know for sure. So she's...
Would you tell us
If he could hear, we could talk to him.
who?
So he could talk to us if he could hear this.
Would you tell us who hired you to create? Help construct this weapon.
It wasn't a hiring thing. It was a service. You have to understand, the Bogarsh, they are very valuable. And he kind of floats over towards. You can see there are some miscellaneous hides and stuff like that on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, all of these here, Bogarsh touched. All of the creatures that Bogarsh and the ones that he infects touched today, he imbues them with magic. A piece of his essence. He's not sane enough to give them good pieces, but he gives them what they can, and there is a whole group of people dedicated to getting this stuff back to the city. It's very useful pieces. But the creature itself, it is a menace. Or at least I thought it was, before I understood that it was a force of nature.
Gary, while he was chattering, we set her bag down, opened it, pulled out like the little pouch where she keeps like the piece from the lyrics that she cut out for the psychic gland, and she pulls that out, sets it on the table, opens it up, and puts it down on the table.
Okay.
Because she knows that would be kind of valuable to him, because she's pretty sure that he would be able to use it, even if it's not, through psychic. It can definitely be used through magical stuff.
Kind of flows next. Oh, so many pretty tools. But no, keep on the topic at hand. Now, there's the weapon was effective. It was effective. It worked. It did what it was. Well, I don't know what it was supposed to do, but it did stop the Bogarsh. It just didn't kill it precisely. It merely trapped it.
Is it still trapped?
That depends. The person who wields the weapon, they use the power of the weapon to trap the creature, but they need to use a part of themselves to keep it trapped. It was supposed to bring the creature inside and use the innate power that's in, well, all of you people with souls, and crush the creature into oblivion, but it's a force of nature. It can survive that sort of deal. It was supposed to be connected to the veil to bring it away from this world, but it's not that easy. It's still trapped if the person who has the weapon is still alive.
Who does this?
He kind of like floats backwards. And he sees the
Goop.
Okay.
The little lyrics part, put it away.
I don't like this.
She looks at him. We hunt the Bogarsh ourselves. Knowing that it is trapped somewhere helps us greatly if it is the true Bogarsh.
You hunt the Bogarsh.
We
Yes.
seek to make it whole.
We have a task beside us, not exactly to destroy it, but we do seek it.
What what do you do? Not to destroy. Well, no, it's an aspect that shouldn't be destroyed. It should
Exactly.
be brought back to where it should be. It should be on this plane.
She
Would you pick up the
points-
jar?
She points to the jar and pulls it out. She's like,
The other half of the Bogarsh
is right here.
is in that jar.
Other half. Yes, it
It's
feels
split.
similar. Split.
So
Yes,
what we need
The
to
goal
do is
to
find a
get these
Bogarsh,
two back
so we
together.
could open that jar and point it at the Bogarsh's face. And then our friend, what's in the jar, Chile, will grab the Bogarsh by his fucking ears, drag him in there, and then they'll reunite.
And
Or
we'll
something like
close
that,
the
we ain't
jar.
exactly sure.
And let them
Yes.
recombine.
No, that's an interesting plan. That should get them together. What do you do then? Then it's still on this plane. And what,
But then it can die. Right now,
No.
No,
No.
it
Then
will,
it has
it will,
free
it will
will.
have
If it
its own
recombines.
energy. It will have enough energy to take itself back to its own plane.
yes, that could.
Right now, if right
and
now,
you hear the soul kind of speak and say, "Master, it is similar to your plan. It could work." Yes, I know it could work. It's fine. What? If you're, his name is Poggle. He's a first chancellor. Well, he was, I guess. Not anymore. He's a brave soul. He deserves respect. It wasn't his fault, but it wasn't. It's my fault. It's my fault. I'm
What house?
judged. Kalinta. Well, what's remains of it? But he's withdrawn from the world. He's not the same when he's holding the creature. Nobody
can-
needs to have an aspect
I
inside
can
of
get
their
us
soul.
to him because
Is
I
that
know
what our
who his
aspect
guard
is?
is. She just looks at
Assuming that Poggle still lives,
He does. She just looks at him. I've met his bodyguard.
oh yes, if he still lives,
We have-
then yes.
He
While you all while you all were gambling.
Out of character, did you Cisco know that they met Aaron?
I
the
know.
rearing.
Right. I didn't catch all of that exchange.
Okay, that's
Right.
fine. But just so you as the player know, that was Aaron when they were talking to the different people. So
Okay. Well, so we will be able to resolve that. In your opinion, oh god, Kiducan jar. Yeah. Do you think? Well, actually, I'm not worried about that aspect. We have the jar. We can make it to. I mean, we have the jar. We can do what we need to do at that point. We have the crystal, which we are going to hold from on the side. We have 5 pendants that we need your.
Kiwi is just looking at you.
Yes,
Because
I
she's
gives no fucks. We have 5 pendants that we need your apprentice to praise. Was it? And we were hope, given the level of friendship that we are trying to generate here.
Not friendship, but trust.
Well, the level of trust that we're trying to generate
goodness of
here,
our
that we would get the best possible prices.
yes, I can arrange that. He kind of like floats around and looks like he's very uncomfortable. Because I have a deal. Deal. Yes. And you hear Jollian kind of do a little
whistling.
whistling at him. He goes, yes, no. Make you a deal. Yes, make you a deal. I will have them appraised. I will add 2,000 to the appraisal of 1,000 to the appraisal of each one. And
I apologize. The numerous magical items in here do have an effect on my senses. You did say you'd have 3,000, correct?
No. 1,000 to each of the whatever the appraised value is.
Again, does no one hear that ding? What was it? Was it 2,000? You said?
But this is not the important part. You're
Oh,
focusing on
sorry.
the
Please continue. So 2,000. Go ahead.
Leave. I'll give you the money and you can spend it in the shop as you would, but leave that here and allow me to study it, if you will.
For what period of time are we negotiating?
Until you. There's another piece. Bring me the weapon. Bring me Poggo's weapon, and I can use one to bring out the other.
Chancellor Poggle.
She looks
You
looks
can
at it,
use
she's like,
one to bring out the other. You can use the
Here's-
weapon to bring out the.
I've been discussing with Jolyon, and I felt guilty about what happened to Poggo. He's never been the same, not since the Bokarsh. But that might be able to heal. He's had all the healers that money can buy, but he's still unwell. That might be able to heal him, and that would be very important to me. I could be...
out of character, sorry. Have I seen people affected by Bogar's sickness? She's like, normal healing wouldn't fix them anyway.
No.
Right, but
Normal
that,
healing doesn't
if
fix...
That is, a life font itself.
That doesn't mend souls, does it?
It very well
It might.
could.
Seeing as how we're gonna.
We're
Bogart.
talking about primordial energies here.
He goes, bring me back the weapon, and
It's magic.
I could use this to... maybe not give him back all of his life, but bring him out of the stupor that he spends all of his time in. That would be very important to me.
A question.
She just looks like
Would it use all of the energy? Because we do have.
No, you misunderstand. I'm not using any of the energy. I'm using it as a focus.
Oh, I
I
see.
get all the power into it.
Twixt that and putting Chile back together. And he seems like the sort of person that may be able to help us with our old friend. I
But
feel like it's reasonable.
I need some time, you understand, to learn how to use this, to craft a ritual. This is not easy things. This could take me time. I'm gonna have to close down my shop
Well,
in order to get this ritual prepared.
as
Did
they
we leave
do.
the piece of sucrose over on the other side as well, or did we bring that back with us?
Yes, you left the piece of
Okay.
sucrose.
Right, as they do say, but that's actually going to be resolved easily. As they do say, time equals money.
Yes. For as long as my shop is closed, it's going to be terribly expensive. But let me figure out how to use this. If you'll help me use this to heal Poggle, I will give it back, and I will give you all of the information I can discern from it for free. And he kind of looks around.
Well, we do have leverage on it.
Should you be interested in something in my shop, I could give them to you for discounts. Yes, discounts. And
2 pounds.
he gets a little back and forth with Jolyon. Goes, and should the weapon be able to be repurposed? Yes. For not killing Bogarsh and not trapping things, then I could modify the weapon so that any of you could use it. It is a powerful weapon. And he kind of lets down the shield a little bit, and he goes, Jolyon, show. And Jolyon puts her hands up and doesn't actually show you anything physical, but you feel the signature of the weapon, and it is very powerful. It reminds you of the hammer that he has.
Correct hammer.
It is an artifact weapon.
So badass level
I-
around with here.
A moment. I feel like it. I feel like he makes a reasonable offer.
Plus he's giving you primo prices on the ambulance.
Jack,
Is this a drug deal?
I have the weirdest boner.
Which is amazing because you don't even have an asshole.
That's why it's weird.
Which is weird because he's one part ball of light and one part woman.
Really? Vin's a girl?
No,
No,
Iris.
Iris is a girl.
Yes, this is also such a strange, and I think Iris has used the bathroom.
Huey just sets the bag with the necklaces on the table. She's like,
I do have to
Yeah,
go.
they're-
My vote is, of course, frick yeah. But,
We're in.
talk them up to like 4K.
Huey sets the necklaces on the table. She's like, these are the ones that need to be appraised.
I'm sure that these is going to cover you for at least some of the time what your shop is closed. And this, well, I mean, this is a priceless thing, isn't it?
Research on it will be very valuable.
So, we're going to allow you to research this until such time as we need it back, or asks for it back. We're going to give you this bag full of extremely expensive items.
Huey plops the little Weirix gland down. She's like,
And he's gonna give you store credit.
Yeah, basically.
And we're going to help you take that horrible weight off your conscience about with Potter. And so after that, we would appreciate it if you thought of us as friends.
So, of course, this is something that's been bothering me for 30 years.
Jesus fuck.
So we have an accord then.
Yes. Jolly. And the Saul kind of looks over at you, makes a motion with the face, but there's obviously no spit that comes out, and then shakes your hand, says, I will get them appraised as soon as I can. This should not take long. There's a jeweler a few blocks from here.
We're awake. And
And see.